Hey guys, in this video, I'll show you 5 or more ways to find people working at companies inside of Clay, and specifically I'll walk through every individual tool and I'll link underneath this video 7 ways that you can find those people working at companies with step-by-step guides on how you can set up those integrations and how you can basically do the enrichments, all the prompting, all of that good stuff, and all of this will be linked in this guide, which is right underneath the video wherever you're watching it right now. So essentially, first of all, let's talk about where you can get people data from. So I'll start with the least obvious places. The first one being Panda Match. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Panda Match, but it's basically renowned for helping you to find companies that are not on LinkedIn and that are not on Google Maps. So if your audience is a super niche audience that you typically would not stumble across on LinkedIn or Google Maps, I would recommend that you use their Find People features that are available inside of Panda Match, which I think are just being released right now at the time of me recording this video in February. So that's the first source, and it starts pretty cheap. I think it starts at about $20 per month. So once again, this is perfect for any audiences that perhaps are not present on LinkedIn or Google Maps. Now, secondly, we'll talk about Ocean.io, and I'm sure by this moment in time you probably saw Ocean.io pop up on your LinkedIn feed. And specifically, what you can do is you can basically find the lookalike companies, and then straight after you find the lookalike companies, within here, you can then narrow it down to the employees that work at those companies by literally just switching the toggle here over to contacts. And yes, Ocean.io is a bit more expensive, but it does help you find those contacts, and you can then export them straight into Clay and over here via a quick webhook. So that's the second option of what you have for finding people at companies inside of Clay. Then thirdly, on top of that, if you're looking for example, brick and mortar businesses, it's a lot easier to get Claygen to go visit their Facebook page, to go visit their TripAdvisor, or like random kind of websites, and you tell Claygen to go visit a bunch of different websites and then to find you the contact details of the owner. So once again, Claygen is probably the best option for that, and I'm sure there will be like a Chinese replica of that by the time this video comes out as well. So keep an eye out on that. And then more than that, you probably have heard about Apollo.io before. And in this video, I'm just going to introduce you to the concept of exportapollo.com, which basically gets you the same data 10 times cheaper. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever, but basically the idea is you can scrape the data directly from Export Apollo. And if you're interested in that, I've got another video on the channel that walks you through that. And then once again, that's in cases if you want to get data 10 times cheaper, or if you feel like actually paying Apollo directly, then you might as well get apollo.io. And I'm sure you've been on their website before, but it is quite expensive. If you want to have a native integration with Clay, it will probably cost you upwards of $70 per month. So that could be a bit more expensive. And then more than that, you also have the Clay inbuilt integration, which you can access by clicking on Add Enrichment in the top right corner and then typing in contacts. And you would see over here, which is find contacts at company, and you can filter for those. Alternatively, as I already mentioned, the Apollo method is probably the easiest one. It's probably the most scalable one, where you can just click on enrich person or enrich company. And for that, you would need an API key. And of course, that's a hassle to set up. And for that reason, I made a video on how you can do that. Now, if you want to see the setup instructions for each individual one of those flows, including some fancy templates and all that good stuff, feel free to just opt into the guide, which is linked underneath the video down below. And it will give you 5+ methods that we cover inside of the Clay course that I run. And specifically, if you haven't heard about the Clay course that I run, it's called unlockclay.com. We just reached 100 happy students. So that means 100 people that gave us a 5-star testimonial. And this is just 3 months since launching the course. So you could just get a rough idea of how good the course actually is. So if you're interested in that, by all means, just go to unlockclay.com. We've got over 200 videos, or probably over 100 videos at least, like this one, that walk you through step by step from start to finish about how you can actually use Clay to finally generate a ton of leads and use AI as a part of your sales process. So if you're interested in that, go to unlockclay.com. Other than that, feel free to check out this guide underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.